Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome you to another episode of this program, Islam is Beautiful. A program that's determined to add value to you as a person and as a Muslim. My name is Salma Aditutu Lawal. Thank you for joining us.
His door is open no matter who you
This program is sponsored in memory of Ajia Fauziya Kehinde Lola Ali. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant her Al-Jannah Firdaus. Ameen.
Open your heart to something greater.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. On the program today, we shall be discussing a topic that's somewhat confusing, but on our chit-chat segment, we are going to bring out the conflicting confusions in this topic. And what are we talking about? We are going to be telling us the difference between Zakat and Sadaqah. And to do this chit-chatting with me, I have Sister Mistura,
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sister Ikma,
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
and Sister Radia.
Assalamu alaikum.
May Allah make it easy for us all to practice this deen and to let us show people, as our slogan on this program says, that we should show them that we are a Muslim. Now, Sister Mistura, if we say the difference between Zakat and Sadaqah, what are we saying? Should we define Zakat and then define Sadaqah?
Zakat generally means growth, blessings, purification.
Okay.
By paying zakat, one actually purifies one's wealth, and it's a command of Allah. It is one of the pillars of Islam.
Okay.
However, sadaqah emanates. The word sadaqah comes from the word as-siddiq, which means sincerity. It is not compulsory, but it kind of shows sincerity on the part of the person that is paying it.
Zadaqah is voluntary, while Zakat is obligatory.
Okay.
So that's just it.
Okay.
So just like they've said, both almsgiving both involves giving,
Okay.
and it's just that one is one of the pillars of Islam. It is compulsory on every Muslim, and the other one is just doing it out of one's will. Like
Sadaqah might not necessarily be with money.
Yes.
It might be with any other things, any other goodwill, like seeing something that can help some people on the floor and picking it up. Even a simple smile, as simple as smile it is Sadaqah. Lifting people on the road, maybe you're driving and you see people stranded somewhere, if it's not going to affect you, any free will is Sadaqah.
Okay.
It is different from Zakat. Zakat has a prescribed and it has a regulated form of observing it, but Sadaqah doesn't have. Anytime you just feel, in fact, you don't have to feel like to observe Sadaqah. Anything good, any good deed is Sadaqah. It doesn't necessarily have to do with money.
I was going to ask that okay, it doesn't mean only giving. Now we know it's about giving. Now is it only money?
No, even praying,
It
giving
acts
advice, admonishing people, anything, any good deed, anything you do that you know this thing is a good. I've actually done something good. It is Sadaqah.
Okay, it is Sadaqah if you just give at will at any time. But Zakat, it is done just once a year. There's Zakatul Fitri and then there's the annual Zakat. That
Yes,
we pay.
yes.
Can you please elaborate on this?
Zakat al-Fitr is a form of zakat, but it's actually usually paid using grains. But now people, they monetize it so that they buy the grains in bulk and give it to people. It's actually paid by the head of the family. The father pays it on behalf of his wife, his children,
Okay, that's
on Eid or a day before Eid. So
That's Eid al-Fitr.
That's Eid al-Fitr. However, zakat is paid on money that you've earned
for a year.
for a year.
Okay, so they are different.
So they're different. And
There's
zakat al-Fitr is often paid to expiate your sins, your shortcomings during the month of Ramadan.
Okay.
So it's like you're trying to make a sacrifice to cleanse your fast.
Okay.
So, but zakah, you pay it on money that you've actually accumulated and saved, untouched, with no expenses for over a
With
year.
no debt.
No debts, yeah.
All right.
and the zakat also goes on properties too, not
Yes,
just on money.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes, not just on money.
Properties
Yes.
and
You have gold,
Yes, you have treasure,
livestock,
yeah, crops.
treasures, crops, animals, anything you have that belongs to you, you have to pay zakat on them.
mashallah. You mean so that means if you have to pay zakat and you don't know the calculation of your wealth, you go to an imam, somebody who is a scholar, to help you do the
Yes.
calculation, because it's not something we can actually do here, since the thing is not straight jacketed like this.
Yes, it's not straightforward.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. I mean, now, why do you think there's a confusion? If you do this deed of sadaqah, what do you get? If you do zakat, what do you get?
You get rewards for doing the two. There's no doubt about it.
Okay.
But as Muslims, we should look at both. One is compulsory. One is a pillar of Islam. We have 5 pillars in Islam, and zakat is one of them. It comes amongst Psalm, fasting, Salah, prayer, Hajj. So it is one of the foundations of Islam. And I think it's a foundation of Islam because it is meant to bridge the gap between the poor and the non-poor. You collect from the poor to give to the non-poor. So
You collect from the rich.
From the rich and give to the poor. So it is like a major pillar of the deen. However, sadaqah, it gives room for those who cannot earn or who do not earn as much to actually give to the poor too.
Okay.
So either way, you can give to the poor. Is either you give by doing zakat and you earn a lot and you give. But Allah in His infinite mercy has made sadaqah a way of giving to the poor, but not compulsory.
Okay. Meaning that there are sometimes you want to do these good deeds, but you do not have the wherewithal to do them as you would.
Yes.
So sadaqah is like the lesser kind of zakat. Yeah. So zakat is not compulsory on a Muslim that cannot afford it.
Yeah.
What if what if the person feels that nobody knows his status, the state of his account and all of that, and is refusing to pay? What is the punishment for it?
If nobody knows, Allah knows. He's the one that has bestowed all these things on you, and He knows. Even no matter how you try to hide it, He knows. Even if people doesn't tell you to do it, and you know that all these things, they are blessings that Allah has given. It's just like giving something to someone and expecting that person to give you like a little percentage out of that thing back to him. Is it too much to ask for? No. You have all these things just for the sake of Allah, and they are telling you now to offer it back for the sake of Allah. It is used for the needy, the poor, the less privileged. That is zakat in the society. So what will it take you to just offer a little amount of so much that you have, just to foster peace, unity, love? Because everything Allah has commanded us to do is just for the sake of our own good.
Yes.
And
So
that's when Allah gives you, when you're privileged than some other people, Allah has given you just for you to be able to give back to those people that do not have. He has a reason for giving you more than others.
He could have even done it that you won't have
That
anybody
you
to
don't
give.
have
Exactly.
So and they say that when you give, it doesn't make you less richer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It enriches you. When you give, it
Exactly.
enriches you. There's this feeling of satisfaction you just have. You feel good within yourself when you give. And apart from the fact that you feel good within yourself, there is a reward for it. And when you give people, Allah gives you more. Allah showers more on you. So and when you're not giving, don't think the fact that you're not giving, you have more. No, it just makes you. It is not how much you have, it is how much
It's
you
not
spend.
something we can see, actually. It's in the
Yeah.
scripture.
In a hadith related by Muslim, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam kind of described the punishments that will be given to people that have wealth and don't give sadaqah. He says that for those who have treasures, they'll be heated in fire and made into plates, and the plates will be used to brand their foreheads and their cheeks. For those who have camels, the camels will made to trample them on soft soil, while for those who have sheep, they will be made to gore them with their horns, telling us that whatever type of treasure we have and we refuse to pay sadaqah for it, there's a particular punishment for it on the day of judgment.
Because in actual fact, we'll be deceiving ourselves. If you're so wealthy, if you can afford it, you have the wherewithal, and you're not doing it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. I understand sadaqah is smiling is a form of sadaqah too.
Exactly.
Answering taslim is a form of sadaqah, and all of those too. May Allah make it easy for us. Sometimes some people want to do these things, but they do not have. What would you advise that they do? If you know you want to do this thing, some people have never done zakat in their life and they are getting very old. Some people they don't have at all. I know somebody who I saw that I could see that the person had some money, but the person said no. The only person said you must keep the one that you will use for today, keep the one that you will use for tomorrow, and keep the one that you. And then by the third day that you're talking about, you may not have that money. At the end of the day, you may not that means you have not done sadaqah at all, what would you do can a Muslim do to help one's ability to decipher when it is the right time to do sadaqah and all? Zakat we know is after 1 year, but sadaqah you can afford not to do it. Some people can say, well, because I do not have enough for 3 days, I may not, and at the end of the day, may not have done any kind of sadaqah or given. You know,
There are actually a lot of reasons for doing sadaqah. So when you do sadaqah, you're not just doing it for the rewards that is for yourself. There's a hadith of the Prophet that says, keep the fire away from yourself, even if it's given by giving half a date. So when you give sadaqah, you're actually giving out for your own benefit. Okay. And then who guaranteed you the next minute? In this life, we are not even guaranteed the next second, not to talk of the next minute. And you're saving up for 2-3 days. You might end up not being the one that will spend that money. So,
and I think from everything we've been saying here, I don't think there should be anything like, I don't have the way without to do sadaqah. Not zakat now, sadaqah. Like even going to the mosque on a Juma to clean the place and make the place well arranged for those that are coming there to observe Juma is sadaqah. Like you said, smiling is sadaqah. Shaking hands with the same sex is sadaqah. Going on the road, finding something that can be harmful to others, picking it up is sadaqah. Loving your neighbor, doing all sorts of good deeds. You don't have to have money to do sadaqah.
Now, who are the receivers of zakat and sadaqah?
In my own opinion, for sadaqah, there is nobody that doesn't require it. You could give me and I could give you.
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as, like you said earlier, you said, what if the person doesn't have the monetary
wherewithal to do it?
To do it, as long as you're in good health, even when you're on your sick bed, saying askar, sending blessings to the Prophet is sadaqah. So even when you have good health, you can do it. And even when you're sick, you can even do it more. Helping the next person. Like, we have many people around, like the next family, they don't have, maybe the old woman is sick and she doesn't have anybody around. Go there, stay with her for some time, cheer her up and all those things. That's sadaqah. So there's nothing like you can't do it.
There's something that you must be able to do.
There's something that is supposed to be done every day.
Okay.
However, for zakah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah At-Tawbah, verse 60 says that zakah can only be given to specific people. Zakah can only be given to the poor, those employed to collect zakah, those whose hearts have inclined towards the religion, that is reverts. Then we have, you can also give zakah to free captives. Then you have people that are in debt, to help them pay their debts. Then you have the mujahideen, that is those are fighting in the path of Islam, for the cause of Islam. And then we have the wayfarer.
Now fighting, I want you to specify, not physical.
Not physical, but they are striving in the cause of the deen, to promote the deen.
Maybe they have madrasa, they teach children how to read the Quran and all that.
So you can give zakat to them. Okay. But sadaqah, you can give it to anybody. And then also for zakah, you can only give it to believers.
Okay.
However, sadaqah, you can give it to the mushrikun, the kafir, anybody.
Okay, mashallah, that's a very good one. So zakah you can give to only believers, but sadaqah you can do to anyone who needs help at the time that you can give it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. Ameen. We take a book now to guide your understanding of this topic. Maybe reading this book will let you know some of the things that we haven't mentioned on our chit chat. Bismillah.
On this episode, we will be recommending to you this beautiful 264-page book titled The Pillars of Islam and Iman, written by Sheikh Muhammad bin Jamil Zeno. The book distinguishes the difference between the pillars of Islam and the articles of faith. It explains the meaning of every pillar chronologically, emphasizes the benefits of every word in the articles of faith, and what every Muslim must know about the religion of Islam. It is so deep and easy to understand because of the simple style and authentic sources that the author used. Take this book today and give your mind some value-adding duty. Remember, readers are leaders.
you cannot go on. You feel so lost and that you're so alone. All you see is night and darkness all around. You feel so helpless, you can't see which way to go. Don't despair and never lose hope, 'cause Allah is always by your side. Insha'Allah, 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 you'll find your way. Insha'Allah, 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 you'll find your way. Every time you commit one more mistake, you feel you can't repent and that it's way too late. You're so confused, wrong decisions you have made haunt your mind and your heart is full of shame. But don't despair and never lose hope, 'cause Allah is always by your side. Insha'Allah, 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 you'll find your way. Insha'Allah, 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 you'll find your way. Turn to Allah, He's never far away. Put your trust in Him, raise your hands and pray. Ooh, yeah, Allah, guide my steps, don't let me go astray. You're the only one who can show me the way. Show me the way, show me the way, show me the way. Insha'Allah, 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 we'll find our way. Insha'Allah, 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 we'll find our way.
His door is open no matter who you
This
are.
program is sponsored
Just take
in
the
memory
first
of
step,
Ajia
you'll see it's
Fauziya
not so
Kehinde
far.
Lola Ali. May
Down
Allah
this
subhanahu wa
road that
ta'ala
goes
grant
all
her
the
al-Jannah Firdaus.
answers.
Ameen.
Open your heart to something greater.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. This is the fact that we think you should have for this week. We have said so many things and we expect that you should be able to answer this question. So this is our question for the week. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. My sisters, in one word, can you tell our viewers, Muslims out there, what it means to do zakat and sadaqah sincerely for the sake of Allah? A lot of times, we know that people do these things not because they want to anyway. Sometimes we do it without knowing. We do it because we want to be seen, we want to be known, we want to be heard. can we tell us how do we attain that level where we'll be able to do it for the sake of Allah alone? Because that is the only way we get rewarded. Zakat and Sadaqah is one thing human beings do a lot to be seen, heard, and to show off. How can we not attain that level? How can we attain the level of taqwa that could help us?
Okay. First of all, Riyah, that's show off, is not allowed in Islam. It is prohibited because it kind of makes our mind deviate. It makes our mind deviate from the benefits, from our intentions of actually carrying out that act. And then Zakah, as a fundamental pillar of Islam, does a very significant, especially in a country like Nigeria where we have security issues, it plays a very significant role in terms of bridging the gap between the poor and the rich. It helps the poor. For example, it can help a poor person to start a business. In English, they say an idle man's hand is the devil's workshop. When people don't have anything to do, they become something else. Think of your prime purpose in this world is to please Allah, and that should form the basis of why you do whatever you're doing. So when that is your basis, then you can also focus on the other benefits that will come
from you helping that person.
I think for us to attain that level of consciousness, we should just go back to the first pillar of Islam. That is believing in Allah. When you believe in Allah and you believe that everything, why you are created, is for Allah alone, and everything you do is for Allah. You do it because Allah has commanded us to do so. So you have at the back of your mind that this thing I'm giving out is because of Allah. It's because Allah has commanded it on me to do it. So by the time you have that at the back of your mind, you wouldn't be thinking, I want this person to see me. Yeah. So the consciousness will be there for you. That I have to do this. Allah has said I must do this, and He has provided for me. I have to. So we all have to go back to the roots of everything, which is believing in Allah and being conscious of Him, and knowing that one day we'll all report back to Him.
Yeah, let me read it.
It is incumbent on us to pay zakat, to observe zakat. And sadaqah is as much as important as zakat. Don't just say because zakat has been ordered and sadaqah is not compulsory, I would just prefer to rather observe zakat and leave sadaqah. No. The two plays the different role. Be it sadaqah or zakat, everything has to be observed from lawful earnings alone. If you are earning unlawfully, I don't even think you should be thinking of paying zakat or sadaqah at all.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us to earn lawfully and to know that the fear of Allah is what we should have at the back of our mind when doing any act of worship. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. We thank you for watching, and we believe and hope that we have added value to you. What we have said here is something we expect you to strive to be able to do. We are humans, we can err, but Allah is the only one who makes it easy for one. So let's pray to Allah to make all of this easy for us, and ask that on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah, He makes this a good intercession for us. I say Jazakumullah khairan, my sisters, for coming, and I say thank you for watching. Do join us again for another enlightening episode of this program. From my sisters and I here, we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
His door is open no matter who you
This program is sponsored in memory of Ajia Fauziya Kehinde Lola Ali. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant her Al-Jannah Firdaus. Ameen.
Open your heart to something greater.